Hello, welcome back to another speed build. I just almost started recording with no audio, but luckily I made a mistake and then was like, I'll just start again. I'm only like 10 seconds in, so we have audio on now. If I sound a little bit funny and like congested, I am. I will again. I think I'm cursed. I'm not joking. Basically, I'm obsessed with tiny houses. We've got this. We know I love tiny living stuff. And we know I'm obsessed. So guess what we've got again today? Another tiny home. I will have a build that isn't a tiny home soon, I promise. But, you know, this one was a lot quicker for me to do than the other one is for me to finish, because I've still got quite a lot left to do, and it's just so big. I just can't. It's stressing me out, but it's not even that big. I'm saying it like it's a mansion, but it's just really not. But I just like tiny homes. I like, or like bigger homes but with lots of Sims, because there's just less to think about in terms of like space, basically. Anyway, so I googled tiny home because I couldn't think of what I wanted to build, and I also was just curious what kind of like tiny homes would come up, and a lot of the ones I expected would, which like kind of like motorhomes and stuff. And this technically would, the image I based this one off was also on wheels, but I try, as you can see later on, to add the like base on debug, but it just wasn't going to happen, so I just didn't bother. But I ended up building this house that I found on Google Images that was like a little house with a greenhouse next door attached kind of thing. It's really cute and it's mobile, but I don't understand how that would work. But I mean, it had wheels, unless they're just decorative. I don't know, or like converted. Also, one thing that really upsets me about this game is how the doors don't match the height of the windows. Like, you've got these massive tall windows. Why isn't there a door that matches that? It was very upset. So, and I end up having to put that door in the middle to like do the layout, but you know, whatever. I just don't get it. Yeah, if I sound, like I was saying, if I sound like miserable or just moody, I don't mean to be. It's just I am very much like in the midst of a cold. I hope it's a cold and not like flu. But I don't know. I just have been rough the last week. Like on and off. I was like, okay, I feel a bit better today, and then like every other day I'm like, okay, I feel like I need to sleep for all day. So I've slept like all day. I'm gonna play some Sims, and then tomorrow I'm gonna tackle the fact that I've got uni work to do, but we'll think about that then. And I also, behind me, I'm gonna have to work this out. Yep, it's this way. There on the side is a new set of markers that I bought, and I don't know how to use markers. I also have not used them yet, and I really want to, but I'm trying to get over my brain. I don't know if anyone else makes art, but I do painting as my degree, and I'm trying to get back into drawing for fun. I feel like a lot of people have experienced this. I feel like most people have experienced it with reading, particularly, which is like you go to school and you enjoy something, and then school basically rips every bit of enjoyment out of it. Art was that for me. Like, I loved art. And then when I started doing it at like GCSE level, which is, if you don't know, that's when you're about 15. It's like the first big set of exams you do in England. So yeah, I did those, and I don't know, it was just like took away all my outside creativity. And then I don't know, and then I took like painting for my uni degree because I wanted to get better at it, which is a weird thing to do, I know, but again, I just got so caught. I do enjoy it more at uni. Like, I have a lot of fun, but I get so caught up in the like academic aspect of it that I'm like, oh, I forget that I can do things for fun. And then I forget that, well, it's not that I forget, it's that like sketchbooks really stress me out because I really overthink them. Anyway, I know I'm not talking about this build much, but I mean, you can see what's going on. It's a tiny build. It's got a nice little greenhouse. I use a lot of the tiny living objects again. I don't know, I kept it quite like neutrally coloured. It's nice, but I'm gonna ramble about other stuff again because yeah. So I'm trying to get back into sketching and just like drawing for fun, but it's really hard to get over that mindset of like, this isn't good enough, and yeah. So Also, I don't think I've ever done a wooden house like this before. I really like how it looks on the exterior, even if it is really flat. But I guess it doesn't look as flat because that little greenhouse bit. But in the original picture, there was all like flowers around the edge, but I couldn't do that. But I did add a little lakey kind of thing. I mean, it's definitely not. It's more like a pond, but it's like lake shaped. But I don't know. I didn't want to put it on a massive lot when it's a tiny home. But that is something I want to do, I think, is make a big lake and like a nice house with it. But I do add like a broken bridge and what else do I add? Broken bridge and a little boat. I downsize it a bit. But your sim actually can get round because it doesn't go around the whole property, but I kind of liked the aspect, like my imagination was kind of like, oh yeah, they cross that broken bridge and like just kind of hop off the end, because it's like pretty much the same like width as the like lake, so they just like haven't got it fixed yet. I don't know, I thought it looked quite cute and it made this lot more interesting, especially since I didn't want to do another front garden because, as I said, I keep doing front gardens. Yeah, so I have also got loads of stuff I need to do, which I'm not looking forward to. Basically, I decided I was going to do like my work this semester on like veganism and animals and kind of like how we treat different animals and stuff like that. It was building on something I was doing last semester where I did work on kind of like domestic animals, particularly rabbits, because in art history rabbits are often seen as like a hunting prize rather than a pet, whereas I think they were like one of the most common pets now. Anyway, so I thought, okay, well, I'll read some books, and so I'm reading some philosophy books, I'm reading some ethics books, I'm reading Animal Liberation by Peter Singer, who is a utilitarian, and I'm reading The Sexual Politics of Meat, which is by Carol J. Adams, and I really like her book, like, she's cool. She's very cool. I was listening to a podcast with her. She's very interesting. Sorry about that. As I was saying, I can't. My throat is just not the one today. It's mainly my nose. I just like can't breathe out this side of my nose at all, really. But yeah, so I'm reading those a little bit, and I've been listening to podcasts when I couldn't be bothered to read, with them being like interviewed. And then what else have I been doing? I've got a couple of other books I want to read on different artists, and I've got one on feminist art history that I want to read, and Linda Nochlin, who's a feminist art critic, and she writes essays, and she wrote this really famous one called Why Are There No Great Women Artists. So this is all things that I'm like, I need to do for research, but I'm also just like, I can't even get myself to do any amount of work. So, I mean, take that how you want. I'd also like to make a zine at some point. I think we've entered, me and a couple of friends have entered for, I think, anyway, because one of them was doing the, like, the entrance. Sorry, I coughed, so I was like, I won't leave that in, because it was loud. Yeah, so I like need to do some stuff for that, and, oh yeah, this just didn't fit, and I didn't want to make the house bigger, so it just didn't happen. I tried to downsize it just doesn't work. Yeah, so there's that. And then last night I watched the whole of part 2 of season 6 of BoJack Horseman, and I cried for like half an hour or something. I was just so upset about it. I don't know if I was upset about the show ending or upset about the resolution or what. I mean, I think it was a perfect resolution. That's what I've got to say. Like, I just think it's just such a good show. Like, if you haven't watched it and you like a bit of dark humour, but you also like, I don't know, just something really honest. It's a really honest show. So it's funny, like it is funny because it is a comedy, but it's just, I don't know, it's just in different leagues from all the other things that I've watched in recent times. Great show, amazing ending. It was just so fitting for the show that they ended it how they did. And I mean, if you've watched it, I think you'd know what I mean. But I don't want to spoil it because, as I said, it literally came out like yesterday, so I don't think many people would have had the chance to watch it really. And then there's probably people who just haven't watched it at all. But definitely would recommend. It's definitely up there with one of my favourite shows. It might even be my favourite show. And it made me think, I want to get a BoJack Horseman tattoo. and I think I'm going to do that. And I also think I want a plumb bob tattoo, because like I've been playing The Sims for a really long time. I don't think it's a thing that I'll regret doing. I haven't regretted any of my tattoos so far, and I've got Scooby-Doo on my arm here, which you can't see because I'm wearing a nice woolly cardigan because I'm cold. And then I've got like a cartoon like bum, but it's not bum, it's like someone in knickers, and it's got like red lines, and I want to do something with a bit more red as well. But then I was thinking like I could kind of make that my less serious part, because on the lower part of my arm, which I can show here, I've got my rabbits. I don't know how to show it to the webcam, but there's one up here, and then I don't know how to show that one upside down, maybe, I don't know, no, that's just not gonna work. But I've got another one there, so I was just thinking of maybe keeping this like not serious. I don't know if I can show my Scooby-Doo. There's my Scooby-Doo. I love him. It's my favourite. Well, he's not my favourite, I don't have a favourite, but he's my favourite cartoon character, and I'm really glad that I got him tattooed on me, because I just think, I don't know, Scooby-Doo is a really big part of my childhood. I love it. I still watch it. I watched like Mystery Incorporated a little while ago. I recommend that too. Yeah, so I think I was thinking of like, because I want more on this bit because it's a bit gappy and I don't really like it. But I was thinking like maybe I could have it as like not so serious things. I mean, this isn't particularly serious, like the rabbit one. It was just like something that I wanted my rabbits, you know, kind of like the idea of getting flowers, but I just think like, I don't know, it's got more of a concept to it, I guess. Whereas I might keep this as like, I don't know, like kind of funny-ish things. And then my other arm is like, it's just like ones that fit together really nicely, because I kind of planned them, and then the tattooist I went to like made them like fit tattoos more. Here's a thing here. I don't remember. So I end up expanding this lake to the right, but I don't remember. Oh no, I did film it. Basically, there was a little bit at the end where or like in the middle, but near the end of this, that I forgot to film, but it was like so small that it didn't really matter. But obviously I did film this bit. I was a bit scared it wasn't this, but only because this footage is about to end. But yeah, so I did film it. I'm happy with this build. I like it. My building's getting a bit better, which I'm quite happy about. I need to work on some bigger things, I think, to get some practice in. But yeah, this video footage is about to wrap up. So I hope you enjoyed this speed build, and I'll see you in my next video where hopefully I won't be ill. Bye.